Let's see. Okay, let's see. All right, so I'm back, and I don't know if it's the internal mic that's picking me up or if it's my blue blue mic. Anyway, we're back. So apparently, they didn't want me to talk about them having to look at themselves. Hey, Shaylin, I'm glad y'all back. Somebody didn't want me to talk about having to look at themselves. They didn't want to have to look at themselves in the mirror to find out it's them that's bringing on their own situation, that they're how confused they are. That this is a born follower. This is somebody who's easily led. Somebody who's gullible. But they didn't want me to talk about that. So we'll just get a different deck. Willing release. Now they want me to talk about, hey, Red Violet. Now they want me to talk about how somebody needs to let it go. And they want to let it go because whatever they did, it is bearing fruit. Now they want to let it go because it's bearing fruit. You know? They're open into discovery, but they're kind of afraid what is growing. It's almost like something could be growing underneath the surface and they don't know if it's good, if it's bad. But they wishing upon a star that it's not going to be something that's going to come out and really hurt them. What's the message? What is the message? Somebody's listening. Somebody is listening to everything that this storyteller has to say. And they taking a deep breath for everything this storyteller is saying. They're taking a deep breath and they're quieting their mind. Because what's happening is the truth is starting to come out. The truth is starting to set somebody free. This is why this person is having this willing release, because they want that truth. Hey, J. Mike. Hey, B. Haven. Like I said, something is bearing fruit. And somebody, they feel like it's time for them to really sit down and listen. To hear everything they felt like they didn't have to listen to before. It's different now, because everything has been exposed and revealed. It could be about this, this. I don't know why I'm hearing that song, "Secret Lovers." Something that they thought was going to end in perfect harmony with this tender embrace, but God had a different plan. Something that somebody was not seeing about the world, the people in the world, the nature of the people in the world. I mean, something that this person was not seeing. And now they have to listen. They have to grow up quick, because it's like security blanket was removed. You know, like back in the day when the building would be on fire and somebody would be at the top of the building, they'd get those large nets and they'd be like 100 people, spread them out and like, jump, we hope that we can hold you, jump, we got you, jump. I'm kind of feeling like somebody feels like that. Like they have to jump. They have to jump. They have no choice, because the building is burning. It's on fire. What's the message? Yes, they have to jump. There is no choice. But the thing is, once you make that jump, someone's going to find out that there's endless possibilities. Something that they didn't listen to before, that was there that was said or put down for their own good. They chose not to hear it, but now they have no choice but to hear it and to move forward. Whatever cocoon they was living in, that shit is broken open. And they now know it is what it is because something about what this person was doing. They was having this displaced anger and they were blaming you. You were the emotional garbage can. You were the emotional dumping grounds. It was all smoke and mirrors, baby. It was all smoke and mirrors. Only because something about the call of the muse. There was somebody else that they felt enamored by, somebody else that they felt led around the nose by, somebody that was telling a story, somebody that took them all the way out to the ledge and left them. Hi, Karen. Oh, really? J Mike, what's the message? Thank you. Telling you, somebody didn't take heed of the information that you was telling them about the ways of the world before. They didn't hear you whenever you told them about how people will do this earth magic just to try and keep somebody bound. How people will sit there and look at a person and try and get into their head to try and control and manipulate this person, and they don't think they're being manipulated until they start doing the stupid shit. They think that there was somebody who really cares for them, who really loves them, until they wake up and realize it was just all smoke and mirrors. Somebody now knows that they were inexperienced, they were ignorant, and they weren't listening. They weren't listening at all. And he didn't think that anybody could tell, that anybody could read them that good. And it's not even a good reading like I would be giving a reading. Somebody sizing them up because they're getting ready to shake them down. They thought that they could never be manipulated. They thought they could never be this or that, like their mind could never be fucked. Only to find out they're waking up to a very sore brain. Yes, they allowed somebody that they was hanging around that they thought was super duper ultra cool to take them to a place they've never been and leave them there stranded. And with all the responsibility left on their shoulders. And it's time to pay the piper. So now what's somebody going to do? Especially since they are bound to this situation because of lies and false alibis. What's the message? Mm-hmm. Yeah, somebody is starting to wake up to everything that you see that looks like it's so beautiful on the outside may come with these poisonous thorns. Somebody's starting to wake up that everything is not as good as what they thought it was. It's like they thought that they had this great big love for somebody, only to find out that shit is broken open. What it was, it was. And now this person is seeing beyond that whole situation, only to find out that somebody was fucking with them, playing a little game. Now somebody understands that you was taking a higher view of the whole situation, and you told them something to help save them, and this person wishes upon a star now that they could go back and regain that moment. Now they want to listen. Now they want to hear you. Now they feel like whatever you have to say is worth listening to. Now they're really ready to have that spirit of gratitude, because now they feel like you are extraordinary. Like as if you weren't the same person that you always been. It was just that they had a fucked up way of thinking and looking at you. But now they understand that it was them that was confused, never you. They want to sit there and act like you're the best thing since sliced bread. You've been the same sliced bread. It's just somebody's realizing they didn't have to tear off a piece and shove it in their mouth. Things could be civilized now, especially while they're watching you with your roots of abundance. And you know what's funny? Is they sat there and they lied on you. They lied on you. Mm-hmm. Now somebody's really trying to meditate. They're really trying to quiet the mind, the body, and the soul. They're really trying to meditate because they want to get to where you are. Because they understand that you are at this place, at this resting space, where everything is working in your life like a grand symphony. Yes, you do. You have your bumps, your bruises, your trials, and your tribulations, but it's nothing like it was before. Nothing where you have to say, I have to let it go. Not just let it go, but it and everybody that it represents. I have to let them all go. Bottom of the deck. Somebody with some thought that they didn't think about. And now they're receiving karma. Somebody wants some healing, but I don't feel like they're able to really heal. I mean, I feel like the way that they treated you in this relationship is really shining. It's very clear, and which is why you had to leave, or and spirit guided you away, because at some point enough was enough. At some point you had to decide that you had to choose yourself, to love yourself, because this other person didn't know what love was, even if it walked up, slapped them in the face, kicked them in the butt, and said, my name is Susan. So you had to decide. And as you decided what was the best way for you to go, it's like you looked at everything that this person had stacked up against them, and everything that this person had going for them. And that's whenever you knew which way you had to go. That's why you chose you. I feel like you prayed for this person and let that person go. And this person now, they're brokenhearted. All they can do is watch you. That's all they want to do is watch you. And they're watching you from a distance. And they're watching you be single. They're watching you be successful. And that's all they're going to do for a long time, is watch you from a distance. This person is like they were so confused. It was like they didn't know what love was. They didn't know that they had they still have unconditional love. It's just that they cannot touch that unconditional love. And that's justice. Justice for abusing a star. I feel like spirit won't even allow this person close to you because of the abuse. Yeah, and this person is realizing that this person is sitting here thinking about everything, everything that they did, how they left you out in the cold, how they chose to work with other people and leave you out in the cold until the judgment came down. And that, but like I said, this person, spirit won't allow this person to get close to you. Spirit won't even allow this person to get close to you. Spirit has a strong hold over you, or a strong level of protection around you. Spirit felt like you had been through enough. Yeah, girl. Sometimes you too be tripping. Yeah, for sure, for sure, for sure. What's the message? Thank you. Yeah, because see, somebody was they wouldn't stop playing these little mind games, these little haha tricks and all this other shit, on this Queen of Pentacles. And this Queen of Pentacles wasn't doing nothing to nobody, was just not messing with nobody, wasn't trying to hurt nobody, wasn't trying to harm nobody, but somebody was trying to hurt her. So it was like, enough was enough. Spirit said it's over. It's over. Yeah, it's like somebody, they needed to look at themselves as to why their life is going the way it's going. And it's not because somebody else kept messing with them. It's because they kept messing themselves up. Once you look at their energy, the energy that you're putting out, that's the energy you're going to get back. If you think that everybody's a liar and you lying to everybody, then you're going to get a liar back. Now somebody wants to be around you. Now somebody thinks that you are a star. And it's like before, but now they think you're a star, but now it's like this person is so upset because now they have to live without your love. They have to live without your happiness. They have to live without you being part of this couple. They have to live without this happy life. They have to live without the money. All because they wanted to say your name, say some wild bullshit about you. Do some wild bullshit, Oh, because they decided they wanted to go visit somebody else. They went to go visit somebody else, working on something else, and whenever they got there, they found out that they was left out in the cold. That they was the odd man out. They was the one that was the odd man out. What's the message? Hey, 007 Maniac. Hey, Faith. Hey, Earth Sign. How are you? They don't like honey butter, huh? Yeah. Something that somebody was working on. And now this person has to work on themselves. They definitely have to work on themselves. It's like they got to work on their heart chakra. They got to work on their communication. And they have to work on their heart and their mind and their heart. What they speak, how they feel, all that shit. When they sitting here gossiping, telling everybody all this bullshit, somebody has to really work on themselves. That's why spirit won't let this person next to you. Spirit's like, oh, hell no. You know how crazy you are? You know how evil you are? That's pretty bad. That's pretty bad. Some people need to really look at themselves, and they really need to understand the way they are acting is evil. It's evil. It's evil. I can name names. Some people that I know that I was very close to, the way they acted was evil. Evil is one letter short of the devil, right? Let that sink in. See, somebody didn't realize, no matter how evil they were to you, what they tried to do to you, how much they tried to do it to you, you was always going to be spiritually protected. God was always going to work it out. Somebody didn't realize that. But somebody needs to look at themselves, and they need to realize they are evil. EVIL. One letter short of the devil. I know he doesn't want to see himself as evil, but you know what? If the shoe fits, put the motherfucker on. Because it sure the fuck ain't acting like nothing else. Sure the fuck ain't acting like nothing else. See, people need to be real with themselves. They're not acting like no angel. They're acting like the devil. People need to be real with themselves. If the shoe fit, put it on and wear it. Put it on and wear it. And that's just the truth. That's the truth. Somebody knows this. Somebody knows this about themselves. They know this about themselves, that they are evil. They are a dark high priestess. That they represent the devil. Somebody knows that. But they're afraid. They're afraid to deal with it. You know why? Because they made a deal with the devil. They made a deal with the devil, and now they're afraid to break it. Because they don't know what the devil's going to do. Either way it goes, you're destroyed. Anytime you make a deal with the devil don't play fair. The devil's going to make you, if you didn't read the book of Judas, read it. What's the message? What's the message? Yeah, honey, I could name names. Thank you. Yep. Because see, somebody's telling somebody has told somebody some wise knowledge. Somebody told somebody some sage advice. They told them something very wise. They said, you know what, if you were smart, you'd listen. If you was a smart person, you'd listen. This is somebody saying that. If you was a smart person, you'd listen. And somebody, they was like, mulling it over, trying to decide if they smart or not. You know, they don't know if they smart or not. They had to even take some time to even think, well, damn, should I listen? Should I not listen? Should I listen? Should I not listen? But somebody had told them, if you smart, you're going to listen. You're going to take heed of this advice. I can hear somebody talking pretty, not talking stern to anybody, but just letting them know. I'd take heed of the advice if I was you. What's the message, Spirit? Yeah, because it's like somebody was telling somebody about these plans. Somebody had these plans to really do them wrong, to really put them under the ringer, to really make it so that they knew they went through a battle. God, you can't make this up. Like somebody knew by the time they was finished getting roughed up, toughed up, and fluffed up, they knew they went into a battle. And this is somebody in their own family. This could be somebody that they're called a father figure. This is supposed to have been somebody that's supposed to have been a leader. This could have been the leader of this coven, okay? But somebody had said, I'm giving you some sage advice. If I was you, I would plan to prepare myself because somebody's planning something for you that you have no earthly clue. And I'm telling you, first the person was like, damn, do I take his advice or not? Should I, shouldn't I? Should I, shouldn't I? But finally somebody pulled their head out their ass. That's what that loud papa noise was. And they finally got up off their ass and started moving away like they should have. They finally took the message that somebody said, you better move because you're about to get your ass handed to you on a fucking platter. And somebody was like, damn, maybe I should. Hey, Roland, how are you? What'd you say? Okay. Yep. And see, this is somebody, this is the person who gave him that sage advice. Said, you better stop looking at stuff like this. You better look at shit like this. You better flip, switch, and change that motherfucker. How you looking at that? Because that shit's about to get you fucked up, dude. Somebody's letting this person know you better make some different plans because you're going to need them. That shit's about to get you fucked up. Because see, somebody, they had they had a choice. They had a choice. They had a choice to choose somebody that was loving, kind, gentle, all those good, wonderful things, but they chose something else. They chose to believe the lies. So now somebody is like, somebody getting ready to, I'm telling you, somebody told somebody, hey, all right now, something about to happen. You better get it straight. Somebody's letting them know something's getting ready to happen. What's the message? Told you, something's getting ready to happen. They sending it out, y'all. They sending it out, those attacks. They trying to attack somebody. And they told them. They said, hey, so-and-so's going to be trying to do this. And they said it. And now this person wants to lay their swords down. Now they don't want to be part of that group that was abusing you anymore. Now they want to go to calmer waters. You see, they was all on board at first. When they got that sage advice, they was like, oh, wait a minute. Let me go to calmer waters, because this person found out they don't know how to fight. They cannot fight. They can't fight. That's why somebody was going to set them up to attack their ass, because they said, you know what, this person can't defend themselves. They can't fight. Whether this is a physical fight or what, but somebody was trying to set somebody up. And somebody else said, hey, you better recognize this. This is a motherfucking red flags. Yo, wake the fuck up. Wake the fuck up. Listen, because somebody had already said this. Somebody in this family had already spoke this truth. You know? Yes. And you know what? And somebody didn't want to accept that the tower moment was coming. They didn't want to accept that the tower moment was coming. Like, this motherfucker, oh yes, you cannot make this up. I didn't see this. They did not want to accept that somebody would do this to them like this. They would have that tower moment. But they had to wake the fuck up. Make a fucking judgment call. Listen here, motherfucker. Somebody's trying to take your ass out because they already made the call to set it up. You know, that's like somebody placing too much trust in another human. It's nice to be able to feel that we got somebody we can trust, but we got to trust God. Yes, because see, they have themselves in a position where they cannot. They're having a hard time getting out this position. They're having a hard time becoming unstuck. What's the message? What is the message? They're having a hard time becoming unstuck. And they want to be happy so bad. But you know what? This person is sitting there trying to figure out, how did I even get myself into this? What did I do to get myself like this? To get on this side of it, to do this, to go down that road. Yeah, and it's like, I'm telling you, whenever you was trying to tell them, you was trying to give them something, you was trying to give them knowledge, you was trying to let them know, they didn't want to listen to you. They didn't want to listen to you because you know what, you seemed like it was too much. Yeah, maybe you was too sweet, you was too nice, you was too loving. But see, you know, and that just goes to show that's why that person had to look at themselves, because they brought it on themselves. Had they sat there and just listened to you, or better yet, had they made a decision based upon what you said as opposed to what the other person said, and they made that. But see, somebody was so into, they had to look at themselves to understand that they were so used to being abused that they didn't want help. They just wanted more abuse. Because if you don't know, if you don't recognize that you're being abused and you're being misused and go gaslit and all that other shit, you're going to keep going back for the same shit. But once you recognize this is what's happening, that's when you say, oh, no, I don't want that. Because I see exactly what that is. I don't want that. I don't want that. Yes, and now this person, like I said, they had the option to choose you. They could have chose you, but instead, this motherfucker was so used to being used and abused and misused and bamboozled and everything else that they went straight back to the 501, straight back to the chaos. Then they're sitting here wondering how come they not happy. Well, I wonder why you're not happy. Wonder why you're not happy. Somebody's getting justice, even though it's horrible. Somebody is getting justice, what they need, because you know what? Spirit had tried talking to this person, telling this person time and time and time again in the past, hey, listen, it's over. It's over. Do this, do that. Let it go, let it go, let it go. This person didn't want to let that shit go at all. So Spirit said, okay, you got to do what you got to do then. You know, and like I said, this person, they had it all. They had it all, but they didn't want to listen. They didn't want to hear you. They didn't want to say that whatever you was doing, whatever you was talking about was right. So they thinking that they can just leave you out in the cold. But no, you was talking that good shit. You was talking the truth. You was talking that knowledge. You was giving them that wisdom. And now somebody feel so burdened. I wonder why. It's like that when you don't hear nothing that somebody got to say, when somebody's trying to help you, but you think you sitting there thinking somebody's your enemy because you are that person's enemy. Only to find out that person was never your enemy. That person was always your friend. It's just that you was the secret enemy to that person. That's how you got yourself fucked up. That's what your ass get. That's exactly what your ass get. Being a secret enemy to somebody who's trying to be an open friend to you. That's exactly what that dumb ass get. Get him, God. Get that ass. Get that ass for being a secret enemy, God. Get all them asses for being fucking secret enemies to somebody who was trying to tell the truth to you. All of them. Don't leave none of them out. Get them, God. Don't leave none of them out. You know, that's exactly what somebody get. Now somebody thinking about how immature they was acting, and maybe they wasn't looking at shit close enough. They was just going by what they was told. Somebody acting like they all, yeah, I wonder why you overburdened. I wonder why you all stressed and shit. Let's look at this. Let's look at this. You know, come on now. Now they want to come to you. Can we be friends? Can we start over? You know, somebody wants to try again, but this time they want to try over with you. They feel like, you know, that y'all can be, you know, work well together. Y'all will be great together. You know, that y'all will be a winning team together. They know that you are here for a special reason, that God got a purpose for you in their life. Now they know it. But before they got that, they was just sitting there saying you was full of bullshit, you was on some shit and everything else. Before, when you was trying to tell them and you was trying to plan with them and you was trying to help them, they was like, yeah. I'll check my calendar and get back with you, and you never hear from them. Before, you know, they was being so fucking disrespectful to you, and you like, damn, why they doing it like that? And then they thought, well, maybe they had some shit going on. You know, I'll give them the benefit of the doubt, only to find out that motherfucker sitting there stabbing you in your fucking back. Now that them knives is out of your back and in their back, and they don't know how long them knives is going to be there, and if the people that they dropped you like a hot potato for, how long them people's going to sit here and fuck them up. Now they want to come back. Now they want to have something to say. Now they want to, maybe I should have listened. Maybe I went too far. Maybe I didn't look at all the information. Maybe I should have checked out some of the clues. Maybe. Somebody's having this breakthrough now. Somebody's having a breakthrough. Now somebody is willing to listen, to truly listen to what you got to say. You know, now somebody wants to offer some understanding without judgment. You know, now they're ready to let their mind expand so that they can, you know, have new opportunities come in, because now they can see both sides of a situation and not just that one motherfucking side. You know, now someone is having some realizations about some shit, you know, and now they see what was limiting them. Now they want to shift and open up new possibility of doors of shit that they didn't see before. Now somebody feels like you know, now they just want shit to be simple. But before, they wanted it to be so complicated. Yep. Now somebody's trying to practice gratitude. They want to be receptive. You know, after being, you know, like us, just being like an asshole, just being a straight up asshole to you. You know, I don't believe it. I don't get it. You know, something about the momentum, your momentum. They're looking at your momentum and they know they can't just come to you and be like, yeah, we're going to put this to the side and then just drop it. No, they got to keep going. They got to have that momentum. They got to have that momentum to maintain, to be around you with your high vibrational energy. You know, they want to be receptive, because I feel like somebody is waking up to the realization that they allowed some bullshit that wasn't even your bullshit. That you had nothing to do with some shit. This person is watching you step into your power, whether you're speaking, whether you're creating something, but whatever it is, you're moving with confidence. You know, this is like as if by magic. This is like that serendipity. You know, it's like synchronicity. Magic is unfolding for you every step of the way, because this person is watching you and your abundance. You know, they're shocked. They're shocked. And the whole time they were sitting there blaming you. They didn't want to look at themselves. They wanted to look squarely at you. Because they felt like if they put everything on you, that'd make them look better. But now they're aware that that's not how it works. That's not how it works. You can't sit there and blame me for everything that went wrong in your life and call me the culprit for ruining your life because it's your life. You're going to have to, at some point, you would have had to take charge of your life because somebody that's abusing you, somebody that's belittling you, somebody that's bullying you, they're never going to stop. They're not going to grow up one day and say, damn, you know what? I feel so bad for bullying you. Oh, 47 years. I'm going to stop. From here on out, I'm going to be super duper nice. No, they're going to bully you until the day you say, motherfucker, I'm coming for your jugular. You ever think that you can talk to me or act like that again? And be authentic when you say it. That's when they going to know you ain't playing. Yes, something about somebody's intuition. They need to follow their intuition more. They need to stop overthinking and follow their intuition. That first thought, that's what's going on, And then on top of that, it's time for somebody to liberate themselves with a bold move. Fuck anybody else's feelings. If they ain't worried about yours, so why you got to worry about theirs? Why you got to be the only nice person in the bunch? Fuck anybody else's feelings. They doing whatever they want to do. Do what you want to do. It's a good. What's good for the goose is always good for the gander. It's always been like that. That ain't gonna change. That's the message. Yeah, and something about your devotion. They have to master their devotion to you. There's nothing wrong with your devotion, but they're gonna have to master their devotion to you. This is a person who needs to breathe deeply. They need that serenity because right now they don't have that inner calm. It's like they're restless on the inside. They're disturbed. This is somebody who needs to practice some discipline. Whether it's discipline with their spiritual walk, discipline with treating people the way that they would appreciate being treated, discipline with, however, whatever. Whenever we are trying to ascend and better ourselves, we need to do it with discipline because it's not going to happen just haphazardly. Something about this person, the way that this person trusts, they need to look at that. And then not just the way that they trust, but they also need to look at how reliable they are. Wow. Because that goes hand in hand. If you're not reliable, then of course you don't trust nobody else because you are not trustworthy. Okay? They need to reflect on a lot of things, especially like maybe their passion. They need to reflect on how they are in relationships. It doesn't have to be the romantic side, but it could be period. Do you get out what you put in, or do you put in what you get out? Like I said, somebody needs to learn just that life needs to be more simple. Declutter the mind, declutter the brain, declutter the area of life that's got you stuck. Physically, mentally, emotionally, something. But there needs to be some simplicity. And also, somebody needs to remember about the infinite flow of life. And that means karma. Somebody needs to remember karma is real. it will go around just like it came around, and it will slap you upside down. What else? Yeah, something about somebody's patience. Maybe they're being impatient. Let's block on that flow, that this blocking their alignment because they're not being patient. It's almost like they're sitting there looking at you and they want to act like they want to give you a dig like, oh, you just been healed for 2 weeks. No, no, you've been healed a lot longer than that. It's just that they didn't realize all this time that they was overlooking you. You was healing. You was having patience with yourself. That's why you didn't fight this person. That's why you didn't argue with this person. That's why this person thought they could push you around, that they could treat you any way, because you were having patience within yourself, getting it together. And then whenever you finally got yourself together and you came out karate kicking and ass kicking and name taking and shit like that, then that person want to be like, oh, no, they've been here for 2 weeks. No, bitch. You're in harmony with yourself. And while you're in harmony with yourself, you are not afraid to make these bold moves, because it's those bold moves that you made in the past that have helped to elevate you. Somebody's afraid to accept their destiny. They don't want to accept their destiny because you know what? Everybody can't fight. Everybody can't fight. They know if they accept their destiny, that means that they're going to have to answer the call. If they answer the call, that means that they're going to have to suit up. If they got to suit up, that means that they got to get ready to get on that spiritual horse. If they got to get on that spiritual horse, that means they in the battle, baby. They in the battle. Somebody's afraid to suit up. They're afraid to answer the call. Come on, answer the call. We need you. What are we doing? Everybody in this collective, we answered the call. We suited up. We on the spiritual horse. We riding. Hey, Demita, we riding. We're not afraid. We're not afraid. That person needs to stop being afraid. Something about this person's, their resonance, their energy is misaligned. They need to activate the higher frequencies again, because they feel so vulnerable. They feel so vulnerable right now, but that's a good place to be in. Spirit wants you to be vulnerable, because once Spirit breaks you down, and it's not going to be a bad breaking down, but once Spirit builds you back up, it's your strength. It's how you feel about yourself. It's how you hold your shoulders back. It's how your chest is stuck out. It has to do with your mindset. It has to do with you having clarity. It has to do with you feeling empowered. Someone is afraid to answer the call, but they're looking at you. They're looking at you. I feel like this person, they have a limited perspective. They allow themselves to limit how they were, how they could think outside the box. Yes, this person, they need to have some courage. They need to get in alignment. It's whatever reason this person is afraid to answer the call. They watch too much TV. They were watching too much TV. Synchronicity, because They don't realize whenever they answer the call, when they pick up the phone and they say, "Yes, I choose you, God," as if by magic, God sends people in their path to welcome them. God is also going to send that test to make sure that you choose God, just like you said you did. And whenever you show and prove that you did choose God by your actions and not just your words, then that's whenever the magic happens. That's when the doors fly open because you chose God. That's when you have the realization that you made the right move. What else? Yes. Something about this person, they still don't have that clarity yet. They still can't get see the picture. It's still uncertain. It's still confusion in there. They need to hone in on their intentions. What are their true intentions? This person needs to take a risk. They don't have any faith. That's the whole thing. They don't have any faith. And this is why they have not been receiving the fulfillment that they've wanted, because of that mindset. You know, when you have faith, faith is infinite. The possibilities are infinite. But this person, they worked off of what they could touch, what they could see, what they could justify, what they could explain away. This is somebody who tried to use efficiency and precision to explain the wonders of God, to explain a miracle. You can't do that. You can try, but it's never going to work. Yeah. What this spirit said, what this person needs to do is have precision and take the initiative and and answer the call. Somebody needs to take focused action today and align each step with their ultimate goal by answering the call. Step forward boldly today. Don't overanalyze. Don't overthink. Just pick up the phone. I feel like we need to have people. Can we get J Mike and Red by the Crystals to the front, please? So we can get ready in case anybody need to come to the front to the altar. I feel like that was what we was doing. Come on down to the altar. Come on down. Come on with your purses and your billfolds. Come on. We're going to have J Mike collect the purses and the billfolds and the dish. Don't worry. We're going to have Red Violet Crystals. Bring your jewelry on over here, sister. Come on over with them diamonds. Come on over. Give them all to Red Violet. We're just going to hold them until the end of the service. We'll let you know when the end of the service is here. Come on now. Come on to the front, everybody. Come on down to the front. Who need me to lay hands? Come on. Come on. Come on. You in the back, the good looking guy in the back. Come on, because I need to lay hands on you for sure. Come on. Woo. Come on down. Come on down, baby. Hold on. I felt drop the card. Yeah, somebody needs some balance in their life. They just have to accept it. They have to accept the call, and go with the flow. Execute God's plan, become intimate with God. Remember the good times with God, and then most importantly, exercise that forgiveness, not just wanting God to forgive you, but us wanting to forgive everybody that we feel has ever wronged us. Yes, indeed. We're going to pull a few more. So, yep. Hey, James and Biscuit. James said, "Oh yeah, I have my last $2. We'll take them." No. So, what's the message? Somebody got a message about you, and they are a firm believer now. They are a firm believer now. And what that message was is that you was a demon slayer. They jokingly call you the police because you was a demon slayer. They got that. But now somebody's understanding. First it was their ego, then it was their pride, and then the fall came. It could have been this water sign. The water sign was acting all calm and everything, like nothing was happening. But they big mad now. Because it's been found out that this person is not of the light. And this person's about to learn some hard lessons because they was walking around like they got that big D energy. And you just say, you know what, it is what it is. You already knew about this person. You already saw everything you need to see about this person. So it was like not a, oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Excuse me, Dougie Fresh. Yes. I'm gonna have to listen to that as soon as this. I love my 80s and 90s rap. Yep. Somebody thought it was funny fucking with you until it wasn't funny anymore. And you had to tell them, stop blaming you for their own insecurities. It ain't your problem. You may need to sage your house, baby. Sage it. Sage it. What's the message? What is the message? Something like about this online community is giving you some creep vibes, probably because they are coven. Leave them alone. Because whatever they're talking about, they sound like a straight up hypocrite because all of them, their intentions were off. And you know what? They wanted you to think that you was paranoid, but you was not paranoid. You was focused. There's a difference. You knew there was Satan's helper there. There's a difference. That's why you got them creep vibes. That's why it felt so eerie. It felt like, you ever been to a place and it felt like cool, but it was like a damp cool. And this is in somebody's house, y'all. You would think like it feel like that in a castle, sure, but this is in somebody's house. I have, and I was like, I'm not. The energy is not good here. And you know what? It wasn't. It wasn't good energy. What's the message? You like the 80s and 90s? Me too, Shaylin. Me too. Yep. Somebody's going to be moving soon. Yes. Somebody's getting ready to get their own. They're going to be moving. Yes. You know what? Somebody sent a death spell, but they forgot about the return to sender times 10. And now they clutching their pearls because of that return to sender times 10. Because you were supposed to have been their sacrifice, but they fucked that shit up. Now the hitman is turned on the boss and they running with their tail between their legs. All because you decided to trust your guides. And because you ain't new to the game, but you are true to the game. If they didn't know, they know now. If you don't know, you better ask somebody. Shit, hell yeah. You better ask somebody. What's the message? Thank you. Ooh, You and that sister of yours, she steals. And you know what? That's okay because she losing a lot because she lied on you. So let her stealing, thieving ass steal because she losing a lot because she lied on you. And all this is happening in divine timing to that hating ass family that you got. And because their book of secrets is coming out. They're being read, y'all. Talk about the tea getting spilt. Okay. Like I said, they thought you was paranoid. No, you ain't just focused. You laser focused. Don't nothing get past them eyes. You see everything. You was like, I just saw that link go right over here. Now the link is up here. Is that a piece of, oh, okay. I see it. Now I see it back there. Don't nothing get past you. We already know the strongest is already going through hell. Because we here. We talking about it. That's why we about to get a wish fulfilled. Okay? And let me tell you something. To them karmics, motherfuckers, don't you ever try and mock me. Never try and mock me. Something about a noticeable pattern that somebody noticed. Something about this narcissistic nation. And you was like, maybe you was around a whole bunch of people and you was like, who are all these people? It's because they wanted to confuse you. I told you they thought you paranoid. No, you wasn't paranoid. You was like, it's a focus. You knew what the fuck was going on. It's like, now you could pull the wool over somebody else's eyes, but you ain't pulling the wool over my eyes. Yes, because when you rely only on God, he gives you favor. And these people, they under investigation. They got some answering to do. They got some answering to do. What you say, roll a new game? That's right. Right. Somebody need to hug a tree. They need to hug a tree, and then they have to have some trust. But somebody else with this distorted view, they was going to try and do a sneak trick on you. They tried to sneak, but you saw everything. You was like, if you don't go sit your ass down. That's whenever you had to open up Pandora's box, just so they know you done fuck with the wrong one, the right one, the wrong one, all wrapped up in the same one. He was like, if you don't go sit your ass down somewhere. What's the message? What's the message, Spirit? What you say, Deborah? You staying out of it, huh? Yeah. Somebody needed to realize they had to find some courage and inner strength. They did. It was time. Let them nuts drop. Now they got some real emotions welling up because they're finally dealing with it. They need to. They need to live in that peace, love, and light. This is somebody's just due. It's like it's time for them to stand up. They got to pay attention to their own strengths instead of sitting there listening to people talk about how weak they can't do, what they can't do. No, pay attention to your own strengths because you just being bullied. Somebody trying to bully you. Kick them in the ass. Kick them in the ass. Have some faith and kick them in the ass. And that person ain't even your friend, and the beef ain't even with you. That bully's just a bully because that bully need to get their ass kicked. And trust me, once you kick that bully's ass, that devil won't tell that bully, hey, don't blame him. It ain't his fault that you got your ass kicked because the devil said you was coming with pure intentions anyway, and that bully should have left you the fuck alone. But you know what? You are a money magnet. We're going to say that part is true. That part is true. You a money magnet. Yeah, they want you to, they hope you call because they want to get back to work. But now they scared because they know you kicking ass, you take name and, all that other bullshit, And now they want to get scared. You were like, don't get scared now because, baby, Karma's on a 5-year stretch. And she just pulled up in the El Camino, honked that horn, and was like, get in, bitch. We're going for a ride. Something about somebody's 10th house, their career, their success, public image, and their 11th house. social networking, prosperity, and fulfilling a dream. Something about their 10th and their 11th house. Somebody gonna say it is a miracle. People gonna say never, because somebody said you will never get that. And the person said that was a fucking thief, and that thief could have been the emperor. Damn. The spirit said, I wish a motherfucker would try. Who knew that you was going to be related to Mabel E. Johnson? Who knew? Most of y'all is like, who the fuck is Mabel E. Johnson? That's the first black woman to ever wish a motherfucker would fuck with her. Who knew you was going to be related to her? Because I know I'm related to her. Shit. What's the message, Spirit? What is the message? Wish a motherfucker would. Telling you somebody is watching their spine, and this person's spine is spiritually unprotected, you know? And then on top of that, didn't we talk about somebody being evil? Evil energy. I know it sounds like a song, like a disco song, evil energy, or something like that, but it don't need to be no song. Somebody need to work on that. They one letter short of the devil. Yes. You know, this is that toxic past person, and they can't stand it because you uplift everybody. Everybody. Not just most of the people, not just some of the people, but everybody. You don't even give a shit if they just piss you the fuck off. Well, you might need a couple of minutes to cool the fuck down and then tell them a little bit about themselves. But after you've told them a little bit about themselves, then you're going to bring them back and pick them up. Now, I know I just sat there and gave you the verbal smackdown, but come on, let me get you up. I'm crying now. You can do better. You can do better. But get your ass on away from me before I get to smack you down again. But I'm gonna pick you up. What's the message? What is the message? See, somebody thought you was playing. They don't think you're playing now because you was like, tell them to kiss my ass. Talk about some you ain't got no inner strength. I bet you do. You go up to them nose to nose, almost like you about to kiss them, and tell them to kiss your ass. They're going to be like, damn, she or he got some fucking inner strength. Okay? The practitioner is now scared of you and refuse service. Okay? Because you let that practitioner know, I ain't asked for your motherfucking 2 cents, bitch. You better catch yourself or you wreck yourself. Okay? What else, Spirit? What else? They think you're depressed, but you're not. You know, they made an impulsive move. What you say? Let me turn the other cheek, Carmichael. Yep, and the universe is balancing itself out. Always, 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 always. Anything else? Yep, thank you. Yep, don't forget to do your vision board. Don't forget. It's very important. Somebody went through an ego death because they tried some little Batman stunt that went wrong. Yep. All right, y'all. The book is closed. I'm going to leave it right there. I think I'm getting hungry. I am getting hungry. I had somebody, I got a guy, the Arizona handyman. So anyway, he came and put up my ceiling fan, outdoor ceiling fan. So now I have ceiling fans inside and outside on a day that it may be cool enough to actually sit outside. Then I can sit outside with the fan. But all right, y'all. But hey, if you have a home business and you want me to talk about it, send me an email with a picture of your business card so I can flash it on the screen, picture your business card and what you do. And then, like, maybe a couple of references too. All right. And then we can just go ahead and do this for each other. We can all be happy and be everybody be successful because there's more than enough out here for everybody. All right, y'all. I love y'all. Thank you so very much for hanging out with me and connecting with me even after the first one started buffering again. I don't know what's going on. But every time I strike somebody's nerve, they're like, they press that button. Buffer. All right. Red Violet, Crystals, J Mike, thank you so very much. I really do appreciate y'all so very much. All right, everyone. I may be back later this evening. I'm not sure. One of my neighbors two of the kids have the birthday today, so I'm going to go eat some cake with them. And I hope to be back. If not, I probably have a cake coma going on. All right, I love y'all. And thank you so very much. See you soon. Bye now.